Hockey Herd fans, welcome back to the channel. I went back to eBay and bought some more hockey cards. This is from Breakaway Collectibles. I'll leave a link to the eBay seller in the description. Not a bad guy. He's got a lot of cards he sells. He sold these as a lot. And I paid $24 for the cards plus the shipping and the taxes. All that stuff was $24 Canadian. So about 16 American. These are all O-PEE-CHEE cards. I don't go with tops. And let's take a look and see what we got. Now I do know what these cards are. And let's go with, these are all from the 1973 O-PEE-CHEE set. So 72-73 stat year. This is when Montreal Canadiens won the second Stanley Cup of the 70s. So in 70 it had been Boston, 71 was Montreal, 72 was Boston, and 73 was Montreal again. So they're flopping back and forth. So we have right winger Boston Bruins Ken Hodge. They were getting more into the action cards on the ice, playing the St. Louis Blues. Ken Hodge had 37 goals that year. Him and Phil Esposito made great line mates. I think Esposito made Hodge better because Hodge by himself wasn't that great, and Ken Hodge would later get traded to the New York Rangers for Rick Middleton, hoping that Esposito would recapture his magic, but Hodge was not the same player and didn't stay long. But he was a good player when he was with Boston. This card's not in bad shape. It's got some edges. This set's also different because half the set was red border and the other half was green. I don't know why they did that. It would have made sense if they'd gone with one division was red, the other division was green, or conference, whatever you want to call it. East versus West, but no, they mixed it all up. If you look at the tops are yellow and blue as well. So it's even more colorful. They only did this once that I know of, this border scheme. Definitely different. Then I have goalie Vancouver Canucks suitcase Gary Smith. Not a very good photo. I wish it had been an action card. I already have this one. So of the 16 cards I got, I already have 5 of them. But you'll see why I wanted this. And of course, if this card's better than the one I have, I can change it. We have right winger Pittsburgh Penguins Lowell McDonald. Scored 35 goals for the Penguins. He had actually played for another team. I can't remember which one of the original 6. And he had played for the Kings before this, but then got coaxed back out of retirement. So Lowell McDonald, he was part of a really good Pittsburgh Penguins team that had Jean Pronovost and later get Pierre LaRouche, as well as Vic Hadfield. The mid-70s Pittsburgh team was really good. They just couldn't get past the Islanders, the Canadiens, the Flyers, or the Bruins. They just couldn't get over that hump. Next up, we have from the California Golden Seals, center Joey Johnson. He scored 48 goals. He scored 28 goals that year. He was their leading scorer for a couple of seasons. Got traded to Chicago and didn't do anything. Lasted less than a year. This card has a small crease in the corner. I love that jersey for the Seals. It's much better than their original jersey and much better than their later jersey. I always like collecting Seals cards. Minnesota North Stars goalie Cesar Maniago. Now, they also did cards sideways like this for some reason, which is really annoying. See, he's playing the Rangers there. His mask is pretty cool looking. It looks like he's got a skeleton mask, a skull. He was one of the last maskless goalies, him and Gump Worsley. who also happened to play for Minnesota that year. Got another goalie here, New York Islanders goalie, Gary Desjardins. I already have this card, so I'll take a look and see if it's better. But you can see you got the green and the reds. And there's no continuity between East and West. Like, I don't know what they were thinking back then. And we got Hall of Fame center from the Montreal Canadiens, Jacques Lemaire. I already have this card. This one's not in very good shape. And it's got a stain in the back. So I probably won't be replacing that. New York Rangers goalie, Ed Giacomin. This is a pretty cool card. Looks like he's trying to make a save because you can see the puck coming down. I don't know if it's going through the 5. It's going to miss the net anyway. But he's there ready to make a save. Yeah, it looks like it's going to miss the net. If it's going that way, it's going to hit. But if it's going that way, well, he's got to make the save. Yeah, good question. Anyone tell me what you think? Is it going to miss the net or is it going to go in the net? Or will he actually make the save? Be nice to know what happened. These cards are not in great shape, but I don't expect them to be. I very rarely find these cards in excellent shape. We have Toronto Maple Leafs center Gary Monahan. He was actually a #1 draft pick for the Montreal Canadiens in the 60s. Back when the draft was not really a thing. Because in the 60s the draft was not really well thought out because a lot of teams still had a lot of players that they owned in the minors with the C form. And the draft was supposed to eliminate that. But that's how the draft was in those days. Some teams didn't even bother drafting. They'd just trade all their draft picks or would abstain. Nowadays, that's unheard of. It's such a big show. Then we have the captain for the Philadelphia Flyers, defenseman Ed Van Impe. He would win 2 Stanley Cups with the Philadelphia Flyers. Tough defenseman. Buffalo Sabres goalie Dave Dryden. He just passed away not too long ago. The brother of Ken Dryden. He later went to the WHA and played for the Edmonton Oilers. So he played for Wayne Gretzky. Came back to the NHL, played a few more games. So I got a lot of goalies with this, which is why it's worth the price. Because goalies are generally worth more. And we got another goalie here, Atlanta Flames goaltender Dan Bouchard. I love this card. It's probably from what I've seen so far, this is the second best card in the set. He's in action. Can't tell, but it looks like they're playing the Islanders. And it's much better than this card where he's just posing. This is an action card. Next up, Chicago Blackhawks defenseman Keith Magnuson. I already have this card, so we'll see if it's any better. It's got a tape mark on the top. So did the Monahan one, so probably not. St. Louis Blues right winger Pierre Plante. I believe he ended his career with the Quebec Nordiques. I'm not sure on that. Detroit Red Wings center Red Berenson. I already have this card. It's badly cut, but we'll see if it's any better than the one I have. And finally, a guy I never heard of. We have center LA Kings Jim Peters. I hate those Kings jerseys too. They're so god awful. Looks good on the Lakers, but not on the Kings. I was actually glad when they went black and silver. More like a menacing king. Though purple is the color of Kings. They could have did a better combination though. But there we have it. 16 cards. 1 Hall of Famer. And 6 goalies. I like these 3 goalie cards better, simply because they're in action, they have the mask. Bouchard's mask, Giacomin's, Maniago. So anyway, all you hockey card fans out there, let me know what you guys think. Which goalie card is the best of those three? Bouchard, Giacomin, or Maniago? Leave comments in the comment section. Until next time, this has been Hockey Night in Belmont.